Samsung just pushed a fairly sizable update to the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Not the biggest they've ever done, but big enough to see some changes. So today, we're going to explore 5 of those changes and see how Samsung have improved it from January to February. Daniel here from SamMobile TV. Let's take a look at the February update. So it's widely known now that Samsung have pushed out this update. So you can actually go check out on our website as well some of the breakdowns of what's been updated and also where you can get your update and how to get your update, just if you need to. What we're going to go through here is the 5 things that I think have been the most important changes that Samsung have made. So starting with number 1, Samsung have made some changes to the display. It's been widely reported that there were, vividness issues. Samsung said that they basically tried to make the display a little bit more natural feeling, even in vivid mode. And I get it. I like that that's what they were trying to do, but Samsung users, you take away their options, they'll let you know. And they have, and they did. And credit to Samsung, they listened to the feedback, and about a week and a half ago, they said they were going to add in some options to fix it. Lo and behold, they have. Inside the display settings now, once you have the vivid mode turned on and under the advanced settings, Samsung have added in the vividness slider. There's 3 steps to it, basically not on at all, step 2, and step 3. Where you can notice this especially is in the UI. When you put them side by side, the January to the February, you'll absolutely see in things like the icons, a punchiness difference in the color. The contrast is much better. For example, the gallery icon, perfect example where you can see that difference. You can see it watching videos on YouTube, for example, as well, especially around my face in this video that we're showing here. But absolutely, Samsung have gone and fixed this, and it's no longer a problem. And it had nothing to do with the anti-reflective display that everyone kept saying it did. Number 2, the second thing that I think Samsung that's most important that they've fixed is the clarity of text when you're zooming on something. So when you zoom into a high magnification length, Samsung has said that they've fixed the text rendering and how it can sort of process text and how much clearer it is at the end result. And that is 100% accurate. When you zoom in on something now at 30x, and you take the photo, when you look back at it later, the text is way clearer on the February update versus what it was at the January version of the same software. So Samsung has fixed this, they've said they've done it, and they actually have. The third thing I think that's most important that they've fixed is video. I don't think there was anything wrong with video before. In fact, I'm a big proponent of how Samsung sort of make video on their phones. Not only do they output nicely, there's a lot of options. But there were some things that I noticed when I did the S24 Plus versus S24 Ultra comparison here on SamMobile TV that kind of left me a bit bemused. It was mainly to do with the processing of the sky and the clouds, because the S24 Plus made it so contrasty and so much more dramatic that I really was surprised that the S24 Ultra was a bit more flatter and sucked a bit of that out of it. Well, with the February update, Samsung seems to have returned that a little bit. So it's nice to see that they've done that and returned some of the detail and punchiness into the videos too. Because when you move away from that one and into looking at videos of this tree that I sort of pan up and down on, it's a little bit darker in the branches and the leaves are a little bit punchier. Samsung have returned that, which is nice. The fourth thing that I'm really happy to see is that Samsung have improved what they say is the expression of photos. And it's to do with, specifically, they mentioned people and also flowers. So I tested that. In this shot of a flower here, on the January version of the software, you can kind of see that I don't know how to describe it. It looks nice, but you're lacking detail and a bit of color. In the February version of the software, you get a lot of that back. The details there, the punchiness in the purple. And even when you look at something like this photo of just the street, the grass looks a lot greener and more vibrant. So Samsung have done a really good job here in optimizing this and bringing a lot more life into it. So well done. And the 5th fix that Samsung said, again, very specific, was all to do with fast-moving subjects in backlit situations. How do they identify these problems? Anyway, what Samsung said they fixed was the expression on the fast-moving subject. I noticed that minutely. What I noticed more though was the buildings in the background. On the January version of the software, you can see that it's a bit overexposed. The backlit part, they didn't quite get the dynamic range right. But in the February one, they've absolutely exposed it all properly, and not really at any sacrifice with the foreground. So they've balanced it better, and you still didn't lose any of the speed when you're snapping photos as fast as you want with the shutter button. There were 5 things that I think are most important in the update that came out in February. You can go check out more of the update information on our website, of course. And of course, you can come follow us on all our socials. We've got TikTok, Instagram, we're on X as well, and also Threads. So we're everywhere. And Facebook. Shouldn't forget about Facebook. Anyway, if you liked this little update, make sure you hit subscribe because there's going to be a lot more sort of tips, videos and stuff to come from us. So make sure you do hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.